Not only was it a sinking ship with holes, it was going in the wrong
Oh,
direction. Like, I think SOP, if you're like me, was like a monster. I knew it was a necessary thing, but whenever I thought of it, a monster came out. The monster's gone. The monster's drinking coffee over there. Be like, hi, SOP monster. I hand you today an oar or a pickaxe. Which one do you choose? Because you'll be gone with the pickaxe. I said, hey, what does ECE stand for? And like her shock.
Hello, welcome to the Playbook Partner channel. In today's episode, I'm speaking with Sister Mercedes Diaz, the director of St. Francis Daycare Center in Alton, Illinois. St. Francis is a mission-driven childcare program operated by the Sisters of St. Francis and Martyr St. George, serving families in their local community with a strong commitment to both education and value. At the center, teachers are called mission partners, and the program is supported not only by its staff, but also by the sisters themselves, who are actively involved in everything from leadership to communications to daily operations. Around the time that we worked together, Sister Mercedes was preparing to travel overseas to Germany for several weeks, and she realized something important. So much of the knowledge about how the center operated was still living only in her head. She didn't want to leave her team high and dry without any information and guidance while she was away, so we started working together to document the systems of the center and create operational playbooks that could support the program even while she was away and leadership wouldn't be physically present. And if you're a childcare owner or director trying to move your program from survival mode into something sustainable, I think you're really going to enjoy this conversation.
First, let's start at the beginning. Let's talk about how we know each other. And
Okay.
I'll start with I met your beautiful face at the, oh my God, what is the academy officially called? I forget. Childcare Success
Academy.
Yes. And
The Academy.
The Academy is what we just call for short. And I had been on the stage presenting for Rockstar. Was that the next year that I
No, you present. That was the year that you
that was the
presented
year,
for
yeah.
Rockstar.
And I won, and a million people introduced themselves to me, but you guys, you really stood out because you were new to this industry, but I could see your heart
You're
was
wearing
so
something funny.
big.
Yeah.
That too. I mean, not many nuns are at the Childcare Success Academy, that's for sure. And your guys' spirit, even though you were so new and it was so overwhelming, and because you could see you were like, you in your notes, you were like scribbling a million miles
Oh,
a
yeah.
minute, having
No
1,000
idea.
ideas, but you're like also just
Right.
like you were excited. You had such an open, bright spirit. I was like, and there are a lot of people who you can tell who've been in a while because they're like a little weary and tired, and it's so refreshing to see that. I think I still had that then too, that bright, happy spirit, and we just really connected. Yeah, and then you went on to win Rockstar later, which is amazing.
Yes. Oh, it was quite an experience, and only been in it for a couple of years. It was only my second year as director, but if it was a contest for most improved, we definitely deserved it.
Yeah. You kind of picked up, like, I feel like if it were like a cake, it had been broken apart and like it didn't even look like a cake anymore, and you somehow reassembled it using the same ingredients. And
The image I had was more of a sinking ship with lots of holes on both sides of the ship that I had to run to. And that not only was it a sinking ship with holes, it was going in the wrong
oh,
direction. So,
we weren't even
yeah.
steering towards mainland. You're like,
No, it wasn't even going towards the right direction. Yeah, yeah. And you can't change the direction of a large ship overnight.
no, you
It
cannot.
takes time, and then if you have holes and there's water coming in, even harder.
Yeah. And as we all know, working in the childcare industry, there's always a fire, there's always a hole to plug. And when you're plugging that one, another one crops up somewhere. So it's not that like you were slowly stopping up the holes and no more came. I know how it is. Like you plug one hole and two more pop open sometimes until you get to a point where there's a lot more hands on deck to sometimes you realize you got to delegate and assist and be like, you focus on those holes. I got this side of the ship. And that's kind of where I came in. I was helping you plug one of your holes, which was your SOP.
Yeah, and so that's the thing, like though, if you're someone is watching this, I know the SOP, the word SOP can cause anxiety.
Yeah.
Um, and I knew that's something that we really needed. And whenever someone would say how important it is to have SOP, I would go, "Ugh, I know, but I don't know. I'm like, how can I make SOPs while I'm running from one side of the ship to the other? I don't know.
No,
No idea.
no time to sit down and hammer it out. It's time intensive. It just
No,
is what it is. It's time intensive to get all of
it
those
is.
things
It
in your
is.
brain out on a paper and make sense and have a flow and then analyze it, decide, is it good? Is this a system we want to live with? That's not easy. It's not easy. And it can be a daunting task. And you kind of got to a point where you're like, okay, I can't do this. I'm delegating it.
Yeah. In the midst of crazy, that was the next best thing to do was to work on
Yeah.
SOPs. So to have found that you were working on that and that you were helping with that was like a dream come true, really. It
Oh,
was
I'm so
like
glad to hear that.
all of this weight taken off of my shoulders.
Yeah.
Even though it was still hard to like sit down and be like, okay, what is the SOP for this? But here's what can I tell you what happened with that?
Yeah. Tell me.
So really, Sister Maria Consuela, who was helping me, and she's not with us anymore. She's in. Mother has called her to another mission, but she was really the one like, Sister, we really need to do this. And so I did my part with you. She did her part with you, and we didn't know that she was going to be transferred somewhere else, but we already had an SOP for enrollment, and so she was able to use those SOPs to help train the next person.
Amazing.
And it was just beautiful. And then to add even more on top of that, now it's so easy. Like, so for example, my morning openers they were confused as to who was doing what and when and where and why and all that. So I was like, I'm going to make an SOP. So now that like the most basic SOPs are done, I can continue to add the ones on a daily basis. I'm like, I got this. I got this. And so,
Yeah.
did however you trained us, however you were doing, because ChatGPT does help a lot.
Yeah.
And so, but now I feel confident.
Yeah.
Like I'm not afraid to keep adding to the SOP
Great.
because it's the big huge ones are there, like the big structural ones, and then now like the ones that support these different departments and different things that are happening. So not only was it anxiety daunting feeling in the beginning, know that I needed to do it, then I had some help. We got through this different sections, and then now it's updating them and then confidently feeling like, okay, now I can add these little ones in.
Yeah.
So
That's great. And now you have a format to follow for the
yeah,
future. There's no
sure do.
there's no
Yep.
question about the flow of how it should look and how it should be written because you kind
I forgot to put a sign on my door that I am doing this.
oh,
And I don't know if you've seen me go like this. It's because I've gone like this to people.
I know how that
Like,
is.
like
Hold on.
just anyway, it's like I just got another knock on the door. I
No.
forgot to put don't bother me. No, don't disturb
Do
me.
you want to pause and put a sign? If you want, you can. It's okay.
I think this is kind of
Okay.
fun.
Okay. Sounds good. Awesome.
How many times does the director get
I
interrupted
know.
in one
It's a
sitting?
game. We can do a little
I
counter in
think
the
anyone
corner.
anyone who's watching this understands that's the case, right?
Yeah.
So we're in this together. Yeah.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that because I haven't spoken to you since we've really created them. So I'm so glad
Yeah,
to
we created
hear.
them and then disappeared.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you haven't
Yeah.
needed my help with anything. And like so glad to hear that you've been able to utilize that in real time and real world
Yeah.
scenarios. Um,
Yeah. Oh, and I use Connect Team
yeah,
to put them, right? Well, now Connect Team has an AI support. And so my team is able, and so there's a knowledge folder, and in the folder I put all the things they need to know, like the standards and the handbooks and the SOPs. And so they can go into, in their classroom, go into the support AI and ask any question, and it will pull from this knowledge base.
That's so cool.
Amazing. Yeah, it
That's
was
so
incredible.
cool. Yeah, because some of my other schools that I'm working for are mostly using Notion. And so although it has an AI, they don't have their entire team access that, which I like about the Connect team is that it's, your entire team is on there.
The whole entire team, yeah.
And so,
Mhm.
yeah, now they can all pull from that resource, and pull what is needed by asking that AI. That's so great.
Yeah, and so, what is the procedure when a child is sick? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
So they looked it up and told them exactly what to do, and
yeah.
I didn't have to call the office and all that
Oh my
jazz.
gosh, I bet you that saves you about half your phone calls right there and interruptions of like, "Wait, what do I do now?"
Interruptions.
Yeah.
The interruptions definitely lessened.
Yeah. Awesome.
Mhm.
Well, since then, a lot of changes have been made. How are things going at the school?
Good, so one of the things that we did, so this was totally, I felt like the Holy Spirit just came down and just slapped me in the face in a nice way,
Yeah.
and this was, like, in September. We have a grant to help us pay, it's a workforce grant to help us pay, at least $2 more, to the staff, and in order to do that, your 3 to 5-year-olds have to be at least, there has to be at least 12 in the class. Yeah, 12. And one of our classes was not that, the other one was, uh, getting lower, and so I just I have never had such a conviction that this is what needed to happen, so I closed that one room, combine those threes with, like, those who were developmentally ready for pre-K, put them in there, the younger ones go back to the other room, and we gutted it out, cleaned it up, painted it, and set it up for a 2-year-olds, the older 2-year-olds. So now they're there, and then I made the room that was for the 2-year-olds, gutted it out, cleaned it up, painted it, and made it a infant room because we had 50 on our infant waiting list.
Wow.
So now we have a total of 36 infants, 36 toddlers,
Wow.
32 twos, and 20 3 to 5s.
Wow.
And what it's done is it's strengthened the program. So now we are at 96% enrollment because the 3 to 5s were harder to get because of free pre-K, but also there are other pre-Ks in the area that are not as expensive. We offer amazing things in this program, but we were losing kids at that age, and so the new infant room opened in January. I was able to ask for, the board for some money to get all new furniture for the new infant room from Lakeshore.
Oh,
So, always hiring, that's always a
that's
thing.
major
Finding
changes.
difficulty getting, someone for the kitchen, so that's been hard. That's a change that's really strengthened, the program.
Wow.
We budgeted for 85% and we're at 97, so, like,
Great.
this past month in January, we profited over 11,000. So, yeah, things are going
Amazing.
good. Yeah.
Yes. That's so great. I know that your preschool program is great. They do, walks around and volunteering and gardening and all kinds of cool things. So,
Yeah, and we teach Spanish now.
oh, that's new.
Yeah, no, so last year in January, I taught Spanish. That's me. Yeah, because that's
Yeah.
what I'm certified in.
Yeah.
And so I go down for 15, 20 minutes, and they're doing amazing. And the parents are like, they're really learning Spanish. I'm like, yes, they are. They're really learning Spanish.
That's so great.
So,
Yeah, mine's that young. They're so, like, malleable, they absorb so
observant.
much, and they have no
And they're
fear.
yeah, exactly, and that's why they just speak it. I mean,
Yeah,
some of them don't even know what they don't even know what they're saying, but they're getting it out, and,
yeah.
their pronunciation is
Yeah, they have a
fantastic.
good ear when they're young. As they get older,
Yes.
that goes away. My
Yeah.
aunt is learning Portuguese because she's going to go meet my mom in Brazil, and her,
Aw.
pronunciation, I love her so much, but it's atrocious. I
Oh,
was listening to it, I was was like, oh, good God, you have a lot of work to do. But
Oh boy.
but because that's what happens after you've been in the country in Virginia for so long. And you haven't been immersed in Portuguese, but she's been
Right.
improving. She's doing Duolingo like it's her second job, so she
Okay.
she's getting there. Too bad she's not immersed like your kids are.
Yeah, they need to be immersed.
Yeah.
That's so when she goes, it'll be
It
helpful.
will be helpful. It will be good. Well, sounds so cool about what's going on. I forgot if you guys offer summer camp too. Are you preparing for that as well?
Yeah, and we're full. We have a waiting list. I don't know how summer camps work in other places.
Yeah.
It isn't like we have an extra room to fill kids in.
Yeah.
So basically, it's our pre-K when they graduate. We take a week off of that classroom, clean it all out, set it up. Those who leave, then so basically, so for example, there are 16 pre-Kers. So we have space for four FTEs, right? But then like a couple are not returning. It's full. So the class is already full. And on Friday, I hired somebody for the summer program. So an amazing teacher from the school in the area. And she's going to take the summer for just having fun with the kids. We use Funny Daffer, and they have themes in their resources, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to have on Shark Week, we're going to do Shark Week, and things. Oh, explosions. So that was 1 week is explosions. So yeah, it's all set up, and our enrollment coordinator who took Sister Maria Consuela's place. She's a young woman who's graduating in May from with business administration, focus on management. She is amazing. So we promoted her. So she was a teacher assistant, just a job after, a job to have while she's in school. But this is her degree is business. And oh, something else that we did, because this year I formed our very first leadership team, an admin team. And there's 4 of us in it, and we had our first quarterly meeting in February, and
Nice.
it was fantastic. I took them to a lake house. We spent a day there. I cooked for them, and we reviewed a survey. We did our first parent survey. So there's a lot happening.
Yeah.
Did our first parent survey, went through that. Um, and then we went through the parent handbook to update it. Um, And then we worked through strategic planning, like, what is it that we're working on this year?
That's amazing. What I love about like the people who are doing that get their SOPs just like finally taken care of after so much time is that I've
Yes.
definitely noticed that forward momentum carries. Because then they're like, okay, everything is there. And now I can actually look at it and I can say, I want this process to be better, and it sounds like you didn't have this kind of admin team before because I remember chatting to you about it. So
No,
what does it consist of
no.
now? Who's your full admin team consist of roles wise?
So, the office coordinator, and she's, like, amazing. She's also a lead qualified. So, she used to be a lead, for many years and then had to leave, to take care of cancer, and then now she's back, and she's been back for the last 7 years. Amazing, jack of all trades. I wish she would become director qualified. And then we have, Margie, who is our curriculum coordinator.
Hmm.
So she helps with the curriculum, and then she's also our opener, and Amara, who is in enrollment and billing, and then myself.
Wow. That's awesome. You definitely have a lot more
So I guess
support.
the magic number, and sometimes people wonder, like, um, after some research, was one admin for every 10 staff members, and we have 40. So it does really work out well,
That's great.
with that.
Yeah.
I'm still doing all the one-on-ones, so that's something that I need to work on, because
Mhm.
I don't think I should do all the one-on-ones, but, we'll get there.
Yeah. You are getting there. I'm so proud of you. Amazing, amazing work.
If I could have, listened if I would have listened to this video,
Yeah.
like, when I first started,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have believed it. That there are words coming out of my mouth that I didn't even know what they meant.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. When you first start, you're like FTE, SOP. What are these
No, no, no,
crazy?
no. Remember that actually it even more basic. Seriously, I didn't know what ECE meant.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It
Oh,
was at
yeah,
the end
you were
of
new to
of
early
of
childhood, totally.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So at the end of that conference, the childhood care success, it was ECE there, it's ECE, and then finally I was like, this lady next to me, I said, "Hey, what does ECE stand for?" And like her shock, and she like moved closer to me, and she was like, "Early childhood education." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I got a ways to go." But yeah, no, now
Oh
we
my
know.
gosh. Wow. That is a lot of growth. I forgot that you didn't come with any, like, you hadn't even worked as a teacher in the.
No, no. So I was a high school teacher, high school,
Mhm.
middle school teacher, but
Yeah.
not little ones.
Yeah.
No.
How did you get pulled into the convent's childcare when it, like from high school teaching and stuff, you know?
So mother was looking for someone who would have the qualities that was needed to move forward a sinking ship. And so I'm a vision person. You know, if you're gonna take over a sinking ship, you have to be strong in the hope of keeping up to everybody. This is the vision, and we can get there, and it is beautiful.
Yeah.
But at the same time, being realistic about what's happening here. Um, and saying like, we're actually need to go that way, but I'm not expecting that of you right now.
Yeah.
So people here, I mean, it was, it was difficult. It was difficult. And it was right after COVID. It was on the tails of COVID. And so a lot of that had to do with that. But the sisters that have been here as directors, they never had any kind of education for this. Mother just saw in me natural qualities that would be good. And then it is up to the sister to make sure that she feels ready. So that's why I went to the Childcare Success Academy. I did HR for one on YouTube with all these management classes on YouTube for free,
Yeah.
and just prepared myself, and then just the natural gifts that I have
Yeah.
for people.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. How has
Yeah.
your stress been since we've met and done the SOP? How has your daily stress been, like.
Yeah. Like I think SOP, if you're like me, um, was like a monster. And I knew it was a necessary thing, but whenever I thought of it, a monster came out. And then when I opened the door, it was really it there was no monster. We just needed to sit down and do it. And so to have someone like you to hold our hand and be like, and the thing is, I remember being like, I don't know, I can do this. You're like, it's okay. Just breathe. I'm here for you. I'll take care of it. Do not worry. I'm like, okay, okay. So yeah, no, I if it wasn't for you, I would not have done
I'm
them.
so glad I gave you that peace of mind and that strength to
Eh,
conquer that monster in the closet.
yeah, the monster's gone. The monster's drinking coffee over there.
He turned out to be a cute little, like, Monster Inc. guy.
Cute little thing. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
you're buddies now. There's no
Yeah,
monster.
we are. You're like, hi, SOP monster.
I love that so much. So, last thing I want to ask you are, what are some of your goals coming up now? What are you working on for this future 2026 year for, St. Francis childcare?
So our goal is to continue to infuse the values, and to continue to make our mission known, that teachers feel supported, and those conversations keep going. There's a lot of like, make our program known, um, but more realistic. How does that look? What does that mean? So, um, like for example, right now we have so we call our staff mission partners. And so we have a mission partner spotlight, and every week I'm acknowledging, honoring one of our mission partners, and I had them write out like a little bit about themselves, what they love, why they love working here, which of the values do they like the most and why, or the one that they live the most and why. And that little part there will keep it going, keep the mission on the mind. and it's just there's something good. And I have a sticky note so people can come in and put sticky notes on the
Oh,
board
nice.
of like gratitude and how they feel about them. So those are like concrete ways. So for sure is keeping the values and the mission alive and looking for ways to integrate that within our walls, but also into the next concrete step is to because I already do interviewing, hiring by our
Yeah.
values. So the next step is integrating it into what do you call that when you check on the teachers?
Yeah.
Evaluations.
Yeah.
So I already did that for the teacher assistants, but I don't have it for the leads. And so that specifically is what we're working on is mission values integrated into the evaluations for lead teachers. Yeah, those are off the top of my head, those are the things that we're working
Those are
on. And then
great.
we just went over the parent handbook. So solidifying the updating of the parent handbook and then how to onboard families.
Yeah.
That's another
Well, it definitely sounds like you are out of survival mode and you're working towards thriving for sure. Because
for
when
sure.
you get on those things, that means there's no longer constant holes. Sink is not ship your ship is not sinking. You are
No.
guiding it towards that
Yes. I just have to
paradise.
be aware. I have to be aware of those who are here who walk around with the pickaxe, right? And be like, let's talk about that pickaxe, you know?
Yeah.
Can you let
What
go
you
of that pickaxe
doing?
or do you need to leave with that pickaxe? Cannot use that pickaxe.
Yeah, let me
Okay?
hand you an oar. You get to rowing.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I hand you today an oar or a pickaxe. Which one do you choose? Because you'll be gone with the pickaxe. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Love that so much. Amazing. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. It means so much to
No
me.
problem.
And to even check in on you and hear how you guys have been doing so well since we've last chatted. We worked together for 2 months. Some of it was while you were in Germany, though, but, like overall with Sister
But
Maria.
I felt like we, continuing this analogy of the ship.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I was in a storm while you were helping me write these SOPs. I was like, I can't do it. Like, so yeah. It was
Amazing.
I want to thank you too for
Guiding the way.
um yeah, guiding the way for sure.
Awesome. Oh, that means so much to me. Thank you.
Before we wrap up and say goodbye, I just want to say thank you to Sister Mercedes for sharing her story and the incredible work happening at St. Francis Daycare Center. If you're a childcare owner or director who wants to build stronger systems, support your staff better, and run a more sustainable program, make sure to subscribe because I'll be sharing more conversations and strategies like this here on my channel very soon. And if you're interested in building the systems that help your center run more smoothly, you can learn more about working with me through Playbook Partner and the links below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.